In this section, we're going to sign up for Calendly. Calendly is a site that you can use to set up a calendar and allow people to book on your calendar. This is great for networking, especially for online networking. In places like the Happy Neighborhood Project, they have things set up to allow for maximum networking. However, there may be a person who you meet on a call whom you would like to get to know a little bit further. And so instead of going back and forth in the chat, trying to figure out when you guys can meet or even exchange information, you can simply send them your Calendly link and state that you want to connect with them further. And they, once they open the link, will have an opportunity to schedule some time on a calendar that you have already preset your availability for. Let's get started now. Get started. And we're going to sign up with Google. Yes, we're going to use this email address to make our lives easier. We're going to allow. This is very important. So I want to definitely, as I'm doing this, make this a note of importance. So whatever email address you use, on my regular Calendly, I use my Outlook and I have it hooked up to Outlook. On this one, I'm using Gmail and that gets hooked up to my Google Calendar. When someone books an appointment on your calendar, it will automatically send you a confirmation email. So because we have it set to Gmail, it will send a confirmation email to our Gmail account. From there, what Google will do, if you have your settings set up for this, same as with Outlook, is it will, or I guess it's an Apple setting, because Apple pulls calendar appointments from my emails, because I have it set up that it can do that. And it will make a calendar appointment within whatever the calendar you use normally is. And it will remind you, if you set up for reminders, that you have an appointment coming up. This is crucial, especially if you don't have the paid Calendly. With paid Calendly, you don't have to have a reminder in your phone. It will remind you automatically however many times you set up for it to remind you and the other person. So for example, in the pro version, if someone creates an appointment, it will send them the confirmation email. And then if you have it set up to, it will send them an email the day of, automatically letting them know this is their contact information. And if you want it to be extra sure, 30 minutes before the meeting, you could set it up and say, hey, our meeting is starting in 30 minutes, and it would send them the information again. With the free plan, you just get the one confirmation, so the onus is on you to remind whomever you're meeting with that you have an appointment coming up, and the onus is on you to also remember your appointment coming up. This is how the link will appear when people click to book your appointment. It'll be calendly.com/whatever you put here. So I'm going to put here calendly.com/ and the time zone I'm going to set it up in is my time zone. They will have an opportunity to set up their time zone when they are booking an appointment. Continue. And so it says that our Google Calendar is connected. So it will check our Gmail account for conflicts and it will add events to our Gmail calendar. So we definitely want to connect these two things. Now is when you will set your availability. So on Mondays, and you can further customize it later. So let's just say for right now, we want to set it for Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 5. You can have multiple designations for this. That's why it's saying don't worry, you'll be able to further customize it later. So for now, this is okay and we'll leave it. Now, you can personalize your experience here. And so depending on what you are using Calendly for. So I use this to get to know clients so that I can better assist them. So the designation that I'm going to choose is freelance and consultant. Now, if you are setting up your business to, I don't know, let's see one of their examples, interview someone, then you could set it up for interview scheduling. But I'm going to choose freelance and consultant and hit finish. All right, awesome. How to schedule an event. We're going to make a new event type. Now, I think when you first create your Calendly, they automatically put you into a free trial. And so from there, you can have more than one appointment type. But if you have the free account, and even if you have the trial, it will downgrade you back to one appointment type. So we're going to keep it that way. All right, so we're going to click into our appointment and we're going to customize this a little bit more. So this event type is on, and the event name is not going to be 30-minute meeting, but it can be if you want it to be. I'm going to call this Get to Know You meeting. The location can be an in-person location. I am an adamant Zoom user, so I'm going to connect our Zoom. Okay, so it says that Zoom isn't connected and we need to visit the Zoom integration page to connect our account. All right, now that we have our Zoom set up, we're gonna go ahead and head over to our Zoom integration page. We're going to connect our Zoom, and you're about to connect Calendly for Zoom. It's going to be for this account. Okay, allow and allow. All right, you are now connected using this guy. All right, so on the Calendly page, okay, so now we're gonna do what we were about to do. Okay, so edit, update, hold on, let's do save and close. And now the error has gone away because we have updated it. You can add a location option. So for example, you could do like a Google Meet, or you could do a Zoom, which is no longer in our meeting to choose from because we already have it here. So if you wanted to add an additional option, you can do that. I usually just stick with Zoom because everyone knows how to use Zoom. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. And here you can add a description. So I would just put something like and then the event link for this specific event would be calendly.com/connectwithdrip/30 minutes. And you can change the color that you have on here as well. So we could even come in and make this on brand. And then we're gonna hit save and close. I'm actually gonna close out of this as well. From there, when can people book this event? So you can set it for as many days into the future as you want. You can have indefinitely so people can book you a year out. I don't recommend that. You can set how long you want the meeting to be. You can use an existing schedule or you can set custom hours. So in here, these are our working hours, but we can set custom hours as well and then save them as a new schedule. So for example, I'm going to set up our new hours. So this is the existing schedule. I want to also include Sunday from, let's say, 11 to 5. That can work. And I want to do the same thing for Saturday, 11 to 5. Now let's say on Tuesday, I've got some things going on. So I know I'll be available from 8:30 until about 1, but I added a separate section because I know that I have a standing 2 o'clock every Tuesday. So I am going to want time for that appointment, and I'm going to want time to recoup myself after that appointment, whether that be commute, driving, if it's virtual, getting something to eat after my appointment, whatever the case may be. I'm going to want a couple hours buffer in order for me to do that. So if my meeting is at 1:30, or even let's go with 2 o'clock, if I want an hour before people can book me, or if I want to be able to have people book me up to an hour before I know I have something to do, then I can put 1. But I'm actually going to change this because in theory, if I have a 2:30 that I need to drive to, or if I have a 2 o'clock appointment that I need to drive to, it's probably going to take me like 30 minutes to get there. So I don't want to be in a Zoom meeting that long. So we'll just go, let's make 12:30 our last appointment time, just to give ourselves enough wiggle room. And then let's make 4 p.m. when we come back and we can do some things. And let's say on Thursday, we just don't want to be open that late. So we can close at 3 and we can open at 10. And I'm using closing and opening, but I mean just the hours. So we can save this as a new schedule and we can put Tuesday and Thursday appointments, right? Save it. And so what you can do is you can do either working hours, the star means that it's currently on working hours, or you can switch it to Tuesday and Thursday appointment hours. And so you can also add in some buffer time before and after the event, which I already added in buffer time, but for these other days, you don't want people to be able to book too closely together. So we're going to hit save and close, and that's going to be in there. Now you do have some additional options here. I believe that some of these like automations, these are going to be pro features, so I don't recommend setting them up because you won't have access to them if you decide that the free account is just what you need. So it also gives us an opportunity to view the live page. This is a page that people will see when they book your appointment. So let's go into November. We're already in November. Let's go into December. So remember how I had appointments on Tuesday? So on Tuesday, it'll just show all of these times and it'll just skip over the hours that I designated I was not available. And what I really love, especially because I do a lot of networking with Happy Neighborhood Project, and so that allows you to be international or even national, and so they can come in and they can change their time zone so that they can book for their time. Let's say for California, they can book for their time, but when you get the notification, it will automatically be in your time zone. For this reason alone, I definitely recommend Calendly, because if you meet frequently with people who are in a different time zone than you, it can be annoying trying to figure out, okay, well, it's 6 my time, so it's 9 your time. Use Calendly. It does it for them. They can change their time zone and automatically pick a time that works best for them. So for example, if somebody wanted my 8:30 a.m. appointment because I have it available as 8:30 a.m., right? If they're booking an Eastern time, they're going to book an 8:30 appointment. But I can bet you if you have somebody who's in California booking, they're not taking your 8:30 a.m. slot because they're seeing it as 5:30 a.m. Maybe you have a really early bird person, but most people aren't taking that 5:30. So I love this because it lets the person choose their time zone and book with you. That's all for this section. I'll see you in the next.